Hey everyone, and welcome back. So doing a news video today. Actually was not expecting to do, I figured maybe there'd be one more before the year is out. But some of this actually I wasn't really expecting to make announcements on. Actually, especially one announcement from Arrow, which kind of really surprised me. A very cool announcement from Kino. As well as some details from Scream Factory. So I'm actually going to do the Arrow ones first because there's too much to say, but it was kind of surprising. So they made an announcement just a couple days ago, slated for February. So adding to their February lineup, there's actually going to be a re-release of sorts of both the Hellraiser set as well as the Psycho set. Now these are UK only, so I do want to give you the heads up on that. But it is going to be a 4K set of the Hellraiser films 1 through 4, just like the last release from just a couple months ago, as well as a Psycho set. Now the Psycho set is, unlike the previous limited edition, is not going to have the first film. It's only going to have the sequels. It'll have 2, 3, and 4. And for both of these sets, there will be 2 separate releases. One will be 4K, one will be Blu-ray only, obviously because this is UK only. These obviously going to be Region B locked. And the only film so far that is getting its own release is Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser is going to actually get a separate limited edition 4K release. So in fact, let's just kind of dive right into it. So as far as Hellraiser goes, you can see here, it's one of their basic sort of limited edition releases with the, the harder outer box, comes with the poster, and of course the disc is pretty much the same. Now the only thing at the moment is that, unless I'm wrong, it looks like there's not presently a separate Blu-ray release for Hellraiser. It's only a 4K release for the film on its own. The box set, though, will have both. Again, separate 4K release, separate Blu-ray release. And as far as I can tell, like, nothing is different. Like, the discs themselves are the same. I'm kind of surprised it's actually a box set and not individual releases. I don't know if there's a licensing thing there, or if they've decided to just wait a little bit longer. It's obviously not going to come with some of the extra bits, the book, for example, that came with the set, and a couple odds and ends. But as far as the discs themselves go, it looks like it's pretty much the same. So if you missed out on the Hellraiser set before and wanted sort of a cheaper option, and you don't really care about some of the other the other stuff, this is a good way to go. And again, it's a fantastic set. They get all 4 films. I assume maybe down the line they'll release them individually. I'd be more surprised if they didn't. I don't know why this is getting its own set now, but it is. And the same thing with the Psycho film. So obviously the first film is obviously not here because, again, Universal has already released a single release of that one. So it's interesting that it's not included in this set. So it is only the sequels. Again, not sure if this is a licensing deal, whether or not they can't release them individually just yet. I have no clue. But if I had to guess, that could be it. Maybe it's just a limited thing, and maybe down the line they could do individual releases. Or another possibility, because Universal has done this before, which actually just hit me, that they may release their own 4K versions of these films down the line individually. But obviously, you're not going to have all the extras that Arrow's releases have. I don't know. Speculation on my part. But anyway, so yeah, so as far as the Psycho set, you get Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4. You don't get all of the extra things that came with the previous release, including the first film. But again, the discs themselves are the same, and it's a fantastic release. So if you're looking to just get the sequels, this is definitely a good option to go. So that was the Arrow announcement. Very interesting. Let me put it this way. And again, I do want to stress they are UK only releases. So obviously in the UK, you guys are good if you decided not to pick up the previous limited edition releases of these. You got a couple options now. Those of you outside of the UK, you will have to import it, but get it from a store that sells imports and stuff. Again, there's a couple I use. My favorite, Diabolic DVD. But you do have some options if you missed out on the previous set. And again, these are slated for February. And moving on to Scream Factory. So Scream Factory has detailed a couple of their upcoming releases. First one is their release I think it's due out in just a month, right? What's the release date? June, heavens. Oh God. January 23rd is, of course, their upcoming Blu-ray release of Thinner, the film based on the Stephen King novel. And so we now have the specs. Now, I would say right off the bat, there is no mention of a transfer. So I'm guessing that they're using a pre-existing transfer. Hopefully it's decent, and it might be, until we see it for ourselves. But obviously this also explains why it's not a 4K release. Obviously, for whatever reason, they were not able to do a 4K release of of Thinner, but it does come with actually some nice extras, including a new audio commentary track with producer Mitchell Galen and actor Joe Mantegna, a new commentary with film critic historian Lee Gambin and novelist Aaron Dries, Weight of the World, an interview with director Tom Holland, Thick and Thin, an interview with actor Lucinda Jenny, The Incredible Shrinking Man with special makeup effects artist Vincent Guastini, and then it ports over some extras from these may go back to, I think, to the DVD or something. Those include an audio commentary with director Tom Holland and Joe Mantegna, a vintage featurette, The Magic of Special Effects Makeup, the theatrical trailer, TV spot, and a stills gallery. And again, this is Blu-ray only, is Region A locked, just as a heads up. And again, that is slated for January 23rd. And then next up, we do have now the specs for their upcoming 4K release of Darkman, Sam Raimi's Darkman, scheduled for February 20th. And again, that was the one that had, if you order it directly from Shout Factory, there's different bundles and stuff, which I covered before. Oh, and I do want to mention real quick, because I wasn't sure at the time, I think when I did the video on it, when it got announced, was that the Steelbook, which I wasn't sure if it was an exclusive or not, is not. You can get the Steelbook, the Darkman Steelbook, pretty much anywhere. So I just want to mention that real quick. So as far as the specs go, just like the other releases, there'll be a 4K disc and included Blu-ray. Obviously, the Blu-ray will be Region A locked. And as a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative in Dolby Vision, approved by director Sam Raimi and director of photography Bill Pope. It'll have a 5.1 surround mix as well as a 2.0 stereo mix. I assume the 2.0 is probably, hopefully, the original theatrical mix. Has a new audio commentary with filmmaker and Darkman superfan Josh Rubin, as well as an audio commentary with Bill Pope. And I think the Bill Pope one, if I remember correctly, was actually on their previous Blu-ray release from several years ago. And the included Blu-ray, which will have the new transfer on it, also has the same two commentaries, but it also has deleted scenes, which is new. And then it looks like it ports over all the stuff from the last release, which, just real quick, includes Dissecting Darkman, an interview with actor Liam Neeson, interview with actor Frances McDormand, The Name is Durant, an interview with actor Larry Drake, late Larry Drake, unfortunately, The Face of Revenge, interview with makeup designer Tony Gardner, Henchman Tales, interviews with actors Danny Hicks and Dan Bell, Dark Design, an interview with production designer Randy Sir and art director Philip DeGort, a vintage making of featurette with the cast and crew, vintage interviews with Sam Raimi, Liam Neeson, and Frances McDormand, theatrical trailer, TV spots, and a whole bunch of still galleries. So there's definitely a lot here, which is good. Kind of hoping for a commentary track with Sam Raimi. Probably the only thing kind of missing here that I kind of wish was here, but at the same time, I am glad it actually does have something new, at least. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing the new transfer, because Darkman specifically, as I mentioned before, hasn't had a new transfer in so long. So I can't wait to see what this looks like. And again, Darkman is slated for February 20th. And then finally, from Kino, we now have the specs of their upcoming 4K release of Leviathan, which some of you may remember, that was actually announced a long time ago. God, maybe even like a year ago or so, maybe even longer than that. And then there was some sort of, I think, like rights issues or something. And of course, that release sort of got not canceled, postponed, but there was fear that it could get canceled. But luckily, it is coming, coming February 20th, and we even have the specs for it now. And there are going to be two separate releases. There'll be a 4K release, which have a 4K and a Blu-ray, and then just a Blu-ray only release. As far as the specs go, it's got a brand new 4K scan from a 35mm interpositive. It will be in Dolby Vision. Have a 5.1 surround track, as well as a 2.0 stereo track. A new audio commentary by film historians Steve Mitchell and Nathaniel Thompson. And then the rest of the extras will be on the included Blu-ray or also the separate Blu-ray, which obviously will have the new transfer on it, as well as the same audio specs with the commentary. It also comes with a couple of extra things, including Leviathan Monster Melting Pot featurette, clocking in at 40 minutes and 26 seconds. Dissecting Cobb, an interview with actor Hector Elizondo. Surviving Leviathan, interview with actor Ernie Hudson, as well as the theatrical trailer. So this is such good news that this didn't get canceled. I was really worried it was going to, but I'm so happy it is finally coming out. Can't wait to see this one in 4K. And hopefully, at least for my own sake, just speaking of underwater films, since obviously we'll be getting The Abyss in a couple months, not too far away, I would love a 4K release of Deep Star 6, the Sean Cunningham film. So I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, but I mean, hey, Kino did put out the Blu-ray several years ago. So I don't know if they still have the rights or not, or whether or not they can, get access to do a 4K release. But I'm just putting it out there. Even if I'm only speaking for myself, I would love a 4K release of that one as well, so I can finish out my underwater trilogy, as it were. Only because the only reason why I say that is because, for those who don't know, those three films actually came out within, like, I think within a year of each other. And I'd have to look up the release dates, but I want to say it was maybe Deep Star 6 and then Leviathan and then The Abyss, or maybe Deep Star 6, The Abyss and Leviathan. I was something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, finally happy that this is indeed coming out. And again, also slated for February 20th. So February is going to be actually kind of a pretty big month for releases, it seems. So that's it for this video. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff I probably need to look up and just kind of see. But like, as far as the year goes, obviously we're almost, just a little over a week away, week and a half away from the new year. I'm trying to plan just some stuff to kind of wrap things up. So I don't know if there's going to be another news video. If something major drops, I will definitely find a way to sneak it in for sure. Otherwise, I'm just sort of trying to plan a couple kind of wrap up things, especially my, if I can, my favorite releases of the year. Still trying to make my way through my unwatched pile though, so I don't know if I can get to as many as I want to. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Who knows how the next week is going to be. So we'll just see how things play out. And also, if I can, I do want to actually do one final pickups video of the year. I got a couple things that have come in that actually I don't want to get behind like I did before, go like how many months, it's like I don't want to do that. So probably I should do that before the end of the year, which again is a week and a half away. Ugh. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on these announcements, and if you have any questions, let me know. Try and answer them as best I can. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.